They told me marriages end with affairs, lies, or betrayal. But mine nearly ended with whispers. Whispers from a neighbor who smiled too much, lingered too long, and almost tore apart the only man I've ever loved. This is my story, and I want you to hear it in my own words. I thought I knew my husband's rhythm better than my own heartbeat. Morning coffee, crooked tie, quick kiss on the cheek, his grumble about traffic. Evenings with sports on TV, or yard work on weekends. Ordinary. Predictable. Safe. Until the moving van pulled into our cul-de-sac. I remember the day perfectly, the heat, the kids' bikes clattering on pavement, the sun glaring off that metal truck. And then, her. Vanessa. She stepped out alone. No husband. No kids. Just sunglasses too big for her face and a sundress that made every man on the block do a double take. She smiled like she already owned the place. That night, Mark poured wine and casually said, "Did you see the new neighbor?" I said yes, and he laughed about some wild corporate PR stories she'd told him. I should have brushed it off. But something shifted that night. A small crack in the silence between us. One I didn't notice until it started to spread. Vanessa didn't just move in. She inserted herself. Book clubs, BBQs, neighborhood gatherings, she was everywhere. Laughing too loud, touching arms too often, always at the center. The other wives saw it too. The whispers started then. About the way she leaned in close. The way she smiled at husbands like they were hers to choose. Mark though, he was blind to it. He mentioned her the way you'd mention the weather. She gardens too. She has crazy job stories. And I tried to ignore it. I tried. But something in my gut said Vanessa wasn't harmless. She was dangerous. The first time I heard it, I laughed it off. A friend at the gym whispered, "Be careful, I see your husband with her a lot." But then my coworker said her cousin saw Mark near Vanessa's place. By the third whisper, I stopped laughing. Then I started noticing things. Mark working late. Calls that ended the moment I walked in. A faint perfume on his shirt. Not mine. And suddenly, those whispers weren't just rumors. They became poison in my veins. I grew colder. Quieter. Dinners became heavy with silence. Our arguments over laundry, bills, dishes were never really about laundry, bills, or dishes. They were about her. One night, I caught Vanessa staring across the street. She smiled. Slow. Knowing. My stomach twisted. I wanted to scream. Instead, I drowned in silence. Late one night, I caught Mark whispering into his phone. "Yeah. I'll come by tomorrow." "No, it's fine." The moment he saw me, he hung up. Too fast. When I asked, he said work. But his eyes didn't meet mine. That night, I nearly grabbed his phone while he slept. I didn't. Because I was terrified of what I might find. Instead, my mind filled in the blanks. Pictures of them. Laughing. Touching. Lying. At dinner, I couldn't hold it anymore. I slammed my fork down. "Just tell me, Mark. Are you seeing her?" He froze. His shock seemed real. "What?" "No. Sarah, why would you even think that?" I told him everything, the whispers, the perfume, the late nights. His face didn't crumble with guilt. It burned with anger. "So that's it. You'd rather believe rumors than me?" And for the first time, I thought maybe this really is the end. The next morning, Mark left early. "Errands," he said. But my instincts screamed louder than his words. I followed. Heart pounding, palms sweating against the steering wheel. He pulled up to Vanessa's house. I parked down the street, my whole body trembling. If he went inside, if those curtains closed, I didn't know what I would do. But he didn't. He stopped at her porch. His fists were clenched, his voice sharp. "You need to stop. You've been stirring rumors, making my wife doubt me. This ends now." I stepped out of the car. Vanessa leaned in her doorway, smirking. "Relax, Mark. It's not my fault your wife is insecure." Her words sliced me. But then, I saw his face. Not guilty. Furious. Not hiding. Fighting. Tears blurred my vision. For the first time, I realized I had been wrong. Mark hadn't betrayed me. Vanessa had. That night, we sat in the kitchen, silent. Until finally, I whispered, "I should have trusted you." He shook his head. "And I should have reassured you sooner." Hours passed. Talking. Crying. Healing. The scar was there, but scars can be stronger than skin. And across the street, Vanessa's porch light glowed. For the first time, I didn't feel fear. I felt pity. Months later, a for sale sign appeared on Vanessa's lawn. She left the same way she came, alone. As I watched the moving van roll away, I slipped my hand into Mark's. "Whispers can't destroy us," I said softly. "No," he whispered back. "Only silence can. And we're done with silence." And for the first time in months, I felt safe again. That's my story. A story about how close we came to breaking, not from betrayal, but from whispers. If you've ever been caught between doubt and truth, you know how dangerous silence can be. And if you want to hear more stories like mine, tales of love, betrayal, and the fight to hold on to what matters most, make sure you subscribe to AINeuraBeat. Because here, every story will keep you on the edge of your seat and remind you what it means to feel alive.